Welcome to Virtuozzo Hybrid Infrastructure. Let's take a look at the self-service interface that lets you create and manage your virtual machines. Once logged in, you'll see the monitoring dashboard, where you can track the resources available in your cloud. You can see the total, used and free resources, the floating IPs, and the list of virtual machines, their status and services. You can choose which information is shown using the Manage Widget menu in the top right corner. From the Compute Services screen, you can provision and manage virtual machines, set up a Kubernetes cluster, and configure all of the services you need. Before you can create a virtual machine, you first need to set up a private virtual network. Give the virtual network a name and choose the private IP subnet to be used. If you are not sure which range to use, talk to your network administrator. Make sure that the built-in DHCP service is enabled. It will be used to automatically assign IPs to any new virtual machine added to this virtual network. Select the IP range. This will determine the size of this virtual network. Specify the DNS servers and click Create Virtual Network. Now that the private network is ready, let's create a virtual machine. Give it a name. Choose the operating system you want. You can see that in this case, 2 volumes were created, the boot volume that our operating system will be installed to, and the CD/DVD volume where the installation files are located. Additionally, you can add a new volume for your personal use. Simply name the volume, choose its size and whether you want the volume to be deleted when the virtual machine is deleted, or attach a volume from the existing available ones. Next, select the flavor, meaning the amount of CPU and RAM. Select the private network you created earlier. One IP is assigned automatically by default. You can also assign more, either statically or automatically. Select the security group. If none was manually created, the default group will be used, which allows all traffic on all ports for all protocols, and cannot be deleted, and click Deploy. Let's take a closer look at the volume screen. One very useful feature is the ability to take volume snapshots to save the current state of a virtual machine's file system or user data. A snapshot of a data volume can be used for backing up user data and testing purposes. You can also create an image from a volume to use it as the installation media for a new virtual machine. Let's check the virtual machine we created. You can see its details and properties that you can change, like adding volumes or network interface, and the activity history and detailed monitoring of the virtual machine. Here you can open the console and interact with it, reboot, or shut down the virtual machine. Now that you know how to create a virtual machine, let's have a look at the rest of the capabilities. A virtual private network can be configured to connect remote endpoints over the internet. VPNs create secure, encrypted connections using protocols like IKE and IPsec. Virtual routers provide L3 services such as routing and source network address translation between virtual and physical networks, or different virtual networks. A virtual machine on a virtual network can be accessed from the internet using a floating IP address, which maps to the VM's private IP. Private IPs enable internal communication, while floating IPs provide public access. You need to configure a virtual router beforehand. The VM's guest OS remains unaware of the assigned floating IP. A security group is a set of network access rules that control incoming and outgoing traffic to virtual machines assigned to this group. You can create a new or configure the default. A load balancer distributes incoming network traffic across multiple virtual machines to ensure efficient resource utilization, high availability, and improved performance. SSH keys secure access to the VM. Generate a key pair on a client, keep the private key locally, upload the public key to Virtuozzo Hybrid Infrastructure and select it during VM creation. Try Virtuozzo Hybrid Infrastructure today or book a demo with us.